Hey, on this video I will show you how you can protect your home or home office in less than 10 minutes. Prerequisites are pretty simple. You need a Raspberry Pi and an account on IFC to RPZ community. Let's log into a community website and create RpiDNS configuration. The configuration is pretty simple. You have to provide a host name, select your hardware, and select RPZ feeds you're going to use. Let's log into a Raspberry Pi. It's a freshly installed image of Raspberry Lite, and I just enabled SSH and networking. This is why you see all these warnings. After that, you need to go back to the configuration and copy the curl command. Right now we will download and execute the installation script. The installation script will install bind, OpenResty, rsyslog, and provision the management web interface. The installation script was written for Bash and you need root permissions to execute it. In average on Raspberry Zero it will take about 9 or 10 minutes to fully install all packages and provision your system. If you have something more powerful like Raspberry 4, it may take about like 4 or 5 minutes or even less. After installation you will get credentials to access the management console. And that's all, folks. Let's take a look on the management interface and how to use RpiDNS. Don't forget that to access the management console you have to change your DNS settings. Right now I'm changing it on my MacBook, but if you're going to use the DNS server in your network you have to change it on your router. And don't forget that if you have IPv6 you have to provision IPv6 or override all the IPv6 DNS settings. First time when you are going to access RpiDNS you will see this SSL warning. You have to accept the exception, and basically the issue is that we are using internal self-signed certificate. When you log into the management console you have an option to install self-signed certificate, so in this case you will not see this error. It also makes sense to install this certificate on your other devices, so in case if a request to HTTPS website will be blocked, a block message will be shown to a user without this SSL error message. On MacBook, when you import the certificate, you have to set that you trust to the certificate, and after that you will be able to use it. Let's take a look on the web interface. On the dashboard you will see a few widgets will show how many requests you got, what is the top clients. You can also make some basic settings. So for example right now I added a blacklist for the Comcast, so all my requests which are not resolved locally will not be passed to Comcast. And also you can do some investigations. You can take a look on the queries. You can go DuckDuckGo, Google, VirusTotal, etc, etc. So in this case, if something was blocked or vice versa, you consider some request may be malicious, you will get all the data in hand and you don't need to manually open all these pages. On the top right widget you can see the allowed clients. This is a MAC address of the client, and because we use RpiDNS in our local network, on L2 we can see a MAC address, and in this case we are tracking IP address, the clients, the assets using a MAC address, because if you got a new IP you will not change the history for the device. And on the admin page we have list of the assets where you can easily add a name, and when you add your name and also add a comment or vendor, in this case you will be able to use this name, and you will see this name on the reports on the dashboard. Using blacklist and whitelist you can locally decide which access you need to override to block some additional websites, or vice versa. If we have a false positive in the RPZ feeds, you can override with the whitelisting. Data retention is important because if you are using something small like Raspberry Pi Zero, it cannot basically keep the data for a long time and maintain the reports and generate the dashboard very fast. So in this case you may need to reduce amount of data you are going to keep on your Raspberry Pi. But always, if you need the data for long-term storage, you can forward the data to your server or to your laptop or whatever via syslog. Let's take a look how the RpiDNS works. So I'm opening at New York Times. Probably you see some ads I'm missing right now, and it takes some time because the reports, the dashboards are generated every single minute. So when you take a look, right now there is no such information. We waited for the next minute when we hit refresh, and you see spike in the traffic and new sites were blocked, and also the whole page is mostly related to the New York Times domains. Let's take a look what will happen if we are going to access some website which is blocked by RPZ feeds or by your local blacklist. I'm going to HTTPS website, and when we go there you see there is no HTTPS error message because we previously installed our private certificate, and the certificate for Google Analytics was generated on the fly and was signed by our trusted certificate. All the certificates are located in a SSL cache, so we don't need to generate them multiple times with limited resources. And by default, the certificates are removed every 7 days. And if you need to keep them more, you can just change the cron tab job. So right now you can see a list of certificates which were already generated in a few minutes based on the request from my laptop only. And that's all for today. Don't forget that you have to set up a static IP address on your Raspberry Pi. You have to have a backup DNS server. You may consider a second Raspberry Pi. IPv6 is usually preferred over IPv4. And don't forget to change DNS configuration in your router. Thank you for watching, and see you on IC2RPZ community website.